My name is Janet Baeza, and today I am presenting my project management analysis. I've read various articles and I want to state how they relate to Simulation D. For my first quote, I chose, "Project management is solely based on the idea that a project goes through a number of phases characterized by a distinct set of activities or tasks that take the project from conception to conclusion." This quote is from projectmanagement.com and had an image as well that state the different phases of a project. So project initiation, requirements definition and planning, project execution, and performing monitoring and cost control, and finally project closeout. So I think the step that most caught my attention was project monitoring and control phase. Overall, I think Simulation D was just based off of this. We had to manage a project as well as monitor the cost as well as the scope of it. I think that's what really had a more hands-on experience of actually monitoring that type of control over a project. The second quote I chose was, "In my opinion, the two most important elements of a project plan include scope and schedule." Wait, let me take that back. Budget is a more important element as well, but if you've done a good job planning it, you will know before you begin to work of the project if the budget is sufficient. The same isn't necessarily true for the scope and schedule. In my experience, scope and schedule tend to undergo more fluctuations. Now, this quote I pulled from a reading that was provided in class. So what I got from this quote is that scope and schedule are the most important based off of this person's point of view, and budget goes third. In my opinion, these two are all connected and is very important when it comes to a project. So the scope of the project as well as the schedule has a direct impact to the budget and how it will rise over the budget or under the budget. We could see this through Simulation D. When we affect a certain aspect in order to make it go more towards the schedule, it affects the budget directly. This would be affected by adding either more team members, more meetings, as well as just monitoring it, or as well as adding any more printers that we have to make as a prototype. But besides this, so I agree with the quote, but I just disagree as well, since I think they're all interconnected. This person states that scope and schedule are more above budget. I think they are equal. So for my third quote is from PMI.org, and it is imperative to improve project management for a competitive advantage is clear in spite of barriers to implementation, including the need to do more with less, expanding global priorities, and enabling innovation. There are lessons to be learned from high performers and successful projects that can be reciprocated across organizations of all types to improve their value. So from this quote, from what I'm getting is that project managers are being asked to do more. So they want to do more with less. And I think this is what most companies try to aim towards. So in my simulation, when I was trying to achieve more with less, I took it in the point of view that we had a lower budget sometimes and we had to provide more. So this would be in case of a higher printer or just needing to adjust your team to actually make the goal of the project. So they're requiring project managers to do more and be more competitive in a organization. So I think the simulation really prepares us for that. It prepares us to know what is really happening in a project, what's impacted by what, and have us learn more towards actually managing the project. This would allow us to just create different situations where we try to achieve more with less, essentially. So these quotes really caught my attention. I think they really helped me gain more knowledge of project management and how to actually analyze what I'm doing. Throughout the simulation, I just went for it and didn't really know what I was doing. And finally, I just want to say thank you for listening to my presentation, and thank you very much. Have a nice day.